What's up, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Review, brought to you on here by Off the Top Media, powered by Rivet City Radio. I'm the hateful Jamey Rhodes, and along with me, I have to my left here, Scalz, and the one, the only, the bearded one, Cam G. What's up, guys? It is a fantastic Smackdown that happened tonight. It's the season premiere, newly on USA Network, and it was a action-packed show. It was clean, crisp, looked good, definitely looked like a brand new era. Scalz, let's take it, baby.
I mean, you pretty much said exactly what happened on this episode in regards to the way that they changed the entire presentation. Tonight felt different. It felt new. It felt refreshed. And I loved every moment of it. Cam, what was your initial thoughts of it?
I thought they did a great job at presentation. They definitely made this feel like a big Friday Night SmackDown for sure. It'll take some time to get used to. I guess some of the logo changes and things of that nature. I'm not really a fan of the simple blue and white S on the microphone. That looks weird to me. But other than that, though, and the thing, my favorite thing about tonight, I think, was the crowd. Anything more than anything else, I think they carried this entire show. But yeah, like great job presentation, new entrance setup and all that. So yeah, good job on that front.
Like you said about the crowd knew the occasion and they showed up for the occasion for sure.
Yes.
I mean, just on top of talking about production and just new stuff, like, the graphics were on point. I did have a few issues with, I would say, maybe like sound techs. I don't know if that's on WWE's part or the network, but
So let's move on to the actual show tonight and what took place. They started off with a steel cage match. In the opener, like this, you would think is normally the main event because they got to bring down the cage, do all that, and if anything is happening after it, which tonight it did, you got to bring the cage all the way back up. So usually this is what ends the show. But man, what they did, not only in this match, but after the match, was better as the opener than it would have been as the main event. So I give them props for that 100%.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was absolutely stunning. It got the job done that it needed to do, Cody getting his win over Solo, and it pretty much sets up what happened later tonight. The thing I did notice, because I'm going to be honest with you, I told Scalz this, I was watching this purely on a production level. Like their camera work was great, the technical director with all the cuts and stuff, but as I was watching this match, like you could see how more comfortable Solo is in being a main event level guy. Like he's level-headed in there, he's working well with guys like Cody. Jacob fought too after the match. Dude's a beast. Dude's like, he is made for this. And then you have to see your OTC, baby. Your OTC.
So, kind of breaking news.
Okay.
The NXT show that was supposed to take place at St. Louis on October 8th has been relocated. So it's not taking place in St. Louis anymore.
Are they having it in Vegas?
It's going to the factory at the district in Chesterfield, Missouri.
Okay. So just a venue change.
It's a venue change. It's in similar vicinity. I don't know exactly how far that is away from there. But if you had tickets to the original show, you could refund it or exchange it for other tickets in the future. But very interesting. Randy Orton will still be there at the show.
Yeah.
So don't get that twisted.
Right.
But sorry, I don't know if you were gonna say anything about the opening match, Cam.
No, go ahead. It was very well done. These two guys always put on great performances. Even the aftermath of it, and you didn't get an obvious botch by Tagaloa, so it was good.
You guys with this botching by Tungaloa, like you guys are just very critical on him.
No, for me, it's more comical than anything. Not even like, dude, he's in WWE doing his thing. He's made it. Like, I'm not hating on the guy. I find it hilarious. It's humorous for me.
It was a great opening. Like I said, you said it pretty much best, Scalz. This is something that typically would be in the closing, of a typical show or PLE or whatnot have you. This took pretty much a feud that I'm pretty much done with seeing. I don't really want to see Cody and Solo again, one-on-one. I'm glad this didn't happen at Bad Blood. I don't want to see it again at a PLE. So this took pretty much a match that I was like, well, I don't really particularly care for it. And it was entertaining. I think it felt very old school too, very throwback, because this felt like one of their old school cage matches that they would have put on back in the day. Got a little violent there, got a little blood on Cody Rhodes. Love seeing that, obviously, because they don't really do that much at all in WWE. So yeah, it was a good cage match for what it was. Pretty decent. I was pretty satisfied with it. Cody took a dive off the top of the cell, which is always scary because people have gotten hurt doing that. But they did it in a way that
he didn't try to land on his feet.
Yeah, that's true too. So I mean, or he didn't moonsault, so that's
Right.
also pretty dangerous as well.
That's what we all thought while we were watching it. We're like, is he gonna do a moonsault off the top?
Yeah. So, but yeah, so you got to keep the champion safe at all costs.
Right.
So no, it was good, and I love the ending too. After the match, you have the bloodline scale in a cage. I mean, that looks scary. Just being the person in the ring, and then you just see just all corners, and they're just scaling the cage. Like that's an image of nightmares.
It was a badass visual.
So
Yeah,
it's a badass visual for sure. And like I said, of course, Jacob Fatu, my favorite Bloodline member, obviously, is an absolute beast. Then of course you get Roman Reigns to come out, which I didn't expect that, but you got Roman Reigns to come out, help Cody Rhodes out. I love and I'm a nerd for this kind of stuff, but I love like just the camera angles that they had within this match. Like when Roman's out there and he's doing his thing and he's taking out the bloodline, like it almost felt like I want to say a video game, but that doesn't quite describe it. It's almost like it almost felt like VR. Like it felt like you were in the ring, like with these camera angles, and you're just seeing like Roman just fly in and out of your screen with these Superman punches and spears. That was awesome. I'm sorry, like that was their best camera work I think I've ever seen. Like it was so good. So good.
Lee Fitting or whoever was technical directing, like they were on the money tonight.
Yes.
And also, like, did you catch the reaction shot of Jacob when Roman's music hit and he's on top of the cage and he's just like that was a A1 shot.
What I love about that, hey Britt, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. What I love about that is that he did not get right in the ring. He scaled down to the outside and came back in through the door. Like that's such a small, finite detail that makes a big, huge difference.
He gets it.
Like
that's it.
The way that they're keeping him away from each other right now, it's just making this appearance once they get together so much better. So
yeah.
So you're part of the Fatu's gonna join Roman party. You're in that party.
I mean, kind of, because he keeps getting screwed over by Solo. He lost his championship belt.
Yeah.
He lost his title match taken away. He lost the chance at the title match for tonight. He got in the ring and was ready to be face to face with Roman, and Solo pulled him out. Well, I mean, that adds to the intrigue of when they're actually going to be face to face and actually throw hands at each other. But still, it's gonna come to that point where Jacob is just fed up with Solo and taking away all of his opportunities. And honestly, I think it might happen. If it does, at the actual Civil War games. Like, I don't think it's going to happen before that.
Like, you think that might be the deciding factor? Like, that's what's going to cost Solo the match?
Yep.
I can see that.
Because I think there's enough people to do it with him. Like, I don't think there's enough people to do it unless you bring in Hikuleo and you have The Rock wrestle.
Right.
It depends on if they're doing 5-on-5 and 4-on-4. That's what it's going to boil down to.
I think it's going to be 4-on-4.
And if Cody is involved.
Or Sammy.
Right. No, honestly, or Sammy.
Because him and Jay are still tight.
Correct. So, if it's the OG bloodline with those 4, you have these 4, and what if Jacob turns in the middle of the match, and that's how you get introduced to Hikuleo, and he comes out and joins and helps Solo. So, like, there's a lot that goes on with this.
Yeah.
It all depends on the timing of when it happens. I mean, like, I'm almost 95% certain that it's going to happen at some point. It just depends on how the story gets continued to be built from here.
Right.
I mean, this also led into the main event, which was featured throughout the entire show. You had how many interviews with Nick Aldis backstage?
4.
I didn't count that, but
you had the first one where they were talking about how Solo was issuing a challenge. You had to go talk to Bloodline. Then he was like, I talked to them. Now I need to go talk to Cody and Roman. And that's when Cody showed up and said, I will not sign the contract. I will not. The Bloodline, I'm done with the Bloodline. Roman should deal with his family. Then he goes sees Roman, and then it comes out to the main event. So throughout the night, there was a total of 5 segments involving the Bloodline. And that's how you keep a story fluid throughout the night. Is that something you want to see more of being done on SmackDown?
I mean, it's definitely a throwback. You know, you'd go back to like Memphis and you would see Gordon Soley. You know, he was not only just the commentator, but he was kind of the like unspoken kind of like commissioner of Memphis wrestling because he was the one pretty much telling everybody at the venue and at home pretty much what was going on, what's happening. You know, you would also go to Jim Crockett Promotions. You had the control centers, you had the, you know, after the matches, between the matches, you had them going up to the podium or even to the table with Tony Schiavone and David Crockett, you know, like, so you always had that kind of in between, that promo time, stuff like that. You know, it's definitely a good touch. And it's something that, you know, like what was old is in again. And sometimes that's a very good touch, and just spend a modern touch on it. And boom, it's going to be perfect. And they did a lot of that tonight.
Yeah, because it wasn't just with them; it was with other segments too. So I'm actually enjoying that. Kim, what do you think?
Yeah.
I honestly just think that Nick Aldis is ultimately just a better GM than Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce just seems like a pushover on Raw, whereas Nick Aldis is like, no, we're not having this. We're gonna have order on my show. Like, I don't know. He just,
which is funny because Nick Aldis is a legit dude. Like, he's a 5-time NWA's world champion. You know, like he's legit. But you see his character on TV, and you're like, dude, This guy's a pans.
I mean,
So, yeah, I don't know.
last week he came out and he pretty much controlled 8 men by himself. Like, he told them there'd be no fighting. You're not going to have hands and everything else. And it's like,
So I'm saying.
Adam Pearce can't control 1 person in a ring. This guy's controlling 8.
Right.
So, but overall, though, no, like I said, everything just within their first cage match, just the opening alone, like I said, was just a great way to usher in this new refurbished version of SmackDown that we have right now. It's great. So,
Refurbished.
Refreshed. That probably would be the better word.
Rebranded.
There you go. But, I mean, since we're on the bloodline, we go to this main event segment with Nick Aldis and Roman Reigns coming out. Roman Reigns sticks his hand out, wanting the mic. Aldis gives him the contract to first. And then he was like, does it again. Nick Aldis finally hands him the mic, and we get to hear Roman for the first time since returning back at SummerSlam.
That was, like, handing him the contract, that's a great way of just working the crowd.
Yep.
It's so great.
It's surprising to see him talk because it's like I thought he was doing his best. I thought he was doing his best Sting impression. We haven't heard him talk since coming back almost over a month ago now. So
I mean, I loved it. I didn't want him to speak.
Ooh,
I thought we would have got Paul Heyman interrupting him before he took the mic up.
My name is Paul Heyman.
And Brock.
No, please don't. But this segment, we had Roman Reigns in the ring. He is saying it's his WWE. It is his ring. It is his SmackDown. And Cody Rhodes' music hits. He comes out and he said, it hasn't been yours since WrestleMania. Which I thought was a nice little jab. And little like, ooh, like, you're not the king anymore, buddy. And Roman's like, but I am. And it just was a good
Roman's telling
back and
Cody,
forth
you're not
segment.
that guy, pal.
No, he wouldn't. And Cody was like, I'm not teaming with you still. Like, we're not going to do this. And that's when Solo's music hits, and then out come the Bloodline again. And I like how they only sent in Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. I like how they just sent those two in and kept Jacob and Solo outside. And then Jacob just outside the ring with his praying and his facial, like, this guy's like, he's just so good.
Yeah.
What did you think of Cody actually signing the contract after saying he was done with the Bloodline stuff and that he wouldn't team with Roman?
Makes Cody look like a punk, but that's my opinion.
Cam?
I mean, it's kind of confusing because it was just when Cody was like, when he told Nick Aldis, he's like, I'm done with the Bloodline. I don't want to do this. I was kind of like, okay, like, because it added that intrigue because honestly, even though it's in the said storyline or whatever angle or whatever you want to call it for us, this particular SmackDown, that's how I'm feeling at home. I'm done with Cody and the Bloodline. Like, we've been doing this since April. It's September. Like, what more does he have to prove to the Bloodline? Like, I don't want to see the Bloodline in Cody again. Like, I don't. So I'm over it. If he's over it, I'm for sure over it. You know what I mean? But I guess
I thought it would have been a great way to introduce Jimmy back into the fold or introduce somebody else's Roman's partner by having Roman come out, get attacked, or Roman sign the contract, then get attacked, and be like, I'm going to do it myself, signs his name, gets attacked by then, and then out comes somebody, saves him, and they pick up the contract and sign it. Like, dude, I thought that would have been a great way to do it.
Dude, when Roman came out after the cage match, and then when after that whole moment where Jacob Fatu was in there for a brief second and then he gets pulled out by Solo, and then he got blindsided by Tama Tonga, and he was getting beat up for a second by Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. I was screaming out my TV like, where is Jimmy? It's been enough time already. Where's Jimmy at? Where's Paul? Like, come on. Like, I was praying for it. So yeah.
It didn't happen.
No.
I know. It's got to happen soon, though. We're a month and a half away from Survivor Series.
We're running out of time. So,
especially if we're going to get Jay back on SmackDown and Jay and Jimmy to make up. We need time for that to happen. I still don't
know how that's happening. We're still they're still so far apart. Like, he's on Raw with, the Judgment Day and all that other nonsense. Like, he's nowhere close to this storyline right now.
And feuding for the I guess the
World Heavyweight Championship. No, Jay's going for the IC. Sammy's going for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. That's what I said.
We're gonna have 3 champions in the War Games at Survivor Series.
I doubt it.
War Games.
I mean, I know.
Unless I don't know what Solo comes and screws Jimmy, and then Jacob Fatu comes and screws Sammy. I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of that would make sense to pull them back into the fold. I don't know.
Right.
You said War Games. Are we getting William Regal saying it again this year?
Whoa,
probably not. You'll probably get Aldis saying it, which would be cool.
I mean, Pierce did a good job of it last year. He gave his best effort.
It's the only thing he did good.
All right. Enough with the bloodline. I think we spent enough time on that.
It's the only thing that mattered on this show.
That's not true. That is not true.
It's the main thing. Let's be honest.
I will agree with that, but it's not the only thing that mattered. What about Nia Jax, Tiffany, Bayley, and Naomi segment?
It was all right.
What about that? What do you think of the stipulation that's added to the match?
That's so confusing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so then are we going to see Naomi break up the pin if Bayley tries to get the win so she can get the title shot?
Right.
I'm so lost on that whole stipulation. That's so weird to me. If they lose, which I'm kind of hoping that they do, and I'll tell you why. Send Naomi to Raw. Plain and simple. Have a workaround of Bayley staying on SmackDown. I don't know. Work that, because you could still have Bayley and Nia feuding for the title, whatever. That's really the only thing going on with that championship right now with Nia holding it. But Naomi, goodbye. Go to Raw, because there's nothing for her on SmackDown. She's an afterthought on SmackDown, and she shouldn't be, but she is. Boom, go to Raw.
Mm-hmm. See, I thought the way they were going with it until they announced that stipulation of the loser has to leave SmackDown was that Tiffany was going to win and get the title shot.
Yeah.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Wild.
Definitely would have been a twist.
Exactly. Like, there's something different. That would catch people by surprise. But now I believe that one of the two is going to win, if not both of them pinning Tiffany.
Right.
And and it becomes a triple threat at Bad Blood.
Yeah.
Just dogpile on Tiffany.
Yep, exactly.
Makes sense, I guess.
That's the way I could take it. Or they put her in a double submission and she submits to both of them. That's another way that it could be done. But I think we end up with a triple threat at Bad Blood between the three of them. Because you gotta remember, Jimmy's supposed to be on SmackDown. So if Jimmy comes back on SmackDown, Naomi's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just think she needs a fresh start, because it's just,
yeah.
I don't think she's ever going to really do anything on SmackDown.
She's been too involved with the Bayley and then Bianca and Jade and all that. She hasn't really had a chance to shine by herself.
Yeah.
What do we think about series, the fifth matchup in the series between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade?
It was good. It was straight wrestling, and you know, you need that in your show. You know, throw two guys on there that could wrestle, and have them do their things, and they kill it every time.
You know what's great about their series? It's
Shadow saying it was
refreshing to
Meg.
see.
It was meh.
That's
meh.
Shadow. It's refreshing to see a one-on-one match with no interference. Like the two of these guys are just on their own. They're not attached to any stables or any managers or anything like that. No bodyguards, none of that. So it's great to just see no interference in a one-on-one match. But other than that, I mean, it was a typical match you would expect from Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, you know. But it was a good match. I love the ending too. That top rope, whatever that was, neck breaker or whatever from Andrade. That was dope.
Top rope corkscrew neck breaker or something.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was sick. So I like it, and I think Andrade and LA Knight's going to be pretty badass.
It's gonna be full.
The OTC has arrived. Throw your ones up, gentlemen. I got a one for you, Shadow.
Jesus Christ.
No. Throw that finger in the air like you mean it, Bubba.
I'm surprised that they gave the title shot to Andrade, just because he faced him already and Melo cost him the championship. I don't know if we're going to have that again. And that would kind of defeat the purpose of the match happening.
Yeah.
What else on SmackDown was good tonight? In your opinions?
Ricky.
What?
Who?
Ricky Starks? That's the wrong show, bud.
No. Oh, actually, let's read this comment from
What is
the
this?
OTC. Nah.
This is back to the bloodline thing, obviously. But
Yes.
the thing I liked about when Roman was cutting his promo and when he was like, you know, oh, this is my, you know, WWE, and then Cody came out. It was crazy how like that's the most quiet I've ever seen like a crowd be during a Cody Rhodes entrance. That was crazy to see. But not only that, but
That's
the
what
Cody
happens when you put
coming out. That was the most like heelish kind of Cody. At least that's the vibe I got when he came out. He's wearing a black shirt. He's got more of a serious look on his face.
He didn't stop to do the whoa.
Exactly. It's this more slow, you know, walk to the ring or whatever. Like, and then get in the ring and then say what he said. I'm like, hey, talk, because that if we get a heel Cody Rhodes, which I doubt, but if we do or if we were, that's I want more of that. That was awesome.
Jamey is trying to be seen behind this comment.
Trying to climb the comment, Jamey.
According to that guy Shadow, Cody Rhodes is mid and has to be involved in the bloodline storyline to stay relevant.
He didn't even get a pop when he walked out to Roman,
which Cam just said. He also got booed when he said he was better than Roman, which shows no one actually likes him and that people wanted a new champion. But in reality, he's the worst champion ever and is now ruining the greatest storyline in wrestling history. Why would you do this? Roman doesn't need him. Awful booking.
Just put the title on Solo.
That would be the worst decision ever. Solo has no. I don't want to say he has none, but I feel like they killed it when he started doing this, because as the enforcer for the bloodline, he had such an aura around him where you didn't want to be with him. Like, you didn't want to mess with him. Like, he would be the person to take you out. Now, it's like everybody's doing everything for him. Jesus Christ, Shadow.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Tell us how you really feel.
All right, that deserves one of these. Hold on. Let me find it. What the hell?
That's insane.
There we go. That deserves those. Back to what Jamey was saying about Ricky. So the guy that was originally teaming up with Kevin Owens is a local indie guy from the Seattle area. And he got his 3 minutes in fame. He had a great moment by getting stunned by KO.
Oh,
And he probably will never forget it again. He'll probably never forget that day.
Gotcha. Now I know what you're talking about.
But Randy Orton coming out, that was a decent match between the two. I still want Theory to turn on Waller sooner than later.
Yeah.
But the way they ended the match with the double vintage Orton and then the double setup like that Randy does to the RKO and the stunner was nice.
It's a good match. I just want to see something different with them.
Oh, I agree, Shadow. Like I said, there was a way that they could have done it without Cody being involved, and they should have. Anything else about SmackDown?
I mean, to Shadow's point, like I'm not over Cody's title reign. I think he's doing fine. I think there's more that he can do as champion than what he's doing right now. Yes, he's feuding with the bloodline, but he's having a lot of these like, oh, you're a great competitor. I'm a great competitor. Let's fight. Like, let's get something spicy up in here, Bubba. Like, let's throw down. Like, bring Shinsuke Nakamura up. Y'all have a bull. Do something, you know?
Shinsuke doesn't care. Shinsuke already said, I'm just happy to be here. I don't care.
He is. He's happy to be able to
get a paycheck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But just you got people on your roster that you could throw. I mean, yeah. Anyways, SmackDown was good. I'm excited to see what more they do because tonight really showed that they're throwing everything to the wall, seeing what sticks, and a lot of it stuck tonight. And it was definitely a Fuego show. So,
I mean, Shadow, it really was. You did a great job with that intro. So,
the emptiness machine.
All right, so
I don't.
Let's move on from where can everybody find you?
You can find
Shadow.
You can find me at Jamey Rose PW on my Twitter, and I think my Instagram. And you could also find me at Diamond State Wrestling. I don't know if I should even be promoting that right now with this conversation, but screw it. I'm the guy. And you can find me in my other ventures that haven't even started yet at Dogwater Media. Just do it. You can find me sometimes here on FNR Friday nights after SmackDown with the boys Scalz and KMG. And with that being said, if that doesn't toast your strudel.
No. Don't do my thing and then flip it. No. Don't do that.
Well, if that doesn't strike a chord. Okay, guys, y'all take it away.
Cam?
Oh, boy. You can find it right here with these
a
two
PDF
goals every single Friday night review. Find me on our sister page on River City Radio every single Monday night with the table spot. And, of course, on Wednesdays with the Boom. after AEW Dynamite. You can find me on TikTok at Cam's Squared Circle Mania. Call me Cam G, and of course, Cam's Wrestling Corner. And of course, you can find me on Twitter /X at CamandCheese317. And if that does not sizzle your bacon, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon, Eggs, and Cam. Yeah.
I am Scalz. You can find me here on Off the Top on Friday Night Review, as well as NXT on Tap. NXT on Tap is exclusive to our YouTube page, so make sure you're following and subscribing over there as well, so you get notifications of when we go live for NXT on Tap. We also have other shows on our network. We have Rivet City Red Zone is Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. over on Rivet City Radio Twitch and off the Top Media YouTube. They also put out 2 episodes a week of Halftime Heat on the Off the Top Media YouTube page. So make sure you get involved in all of that. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and we'll catch y'all soon. Have a great evening.
Can you take me?